Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rebel Trumps channel. This is the comparison a lot of people have been asking for. This is a comparison between the Saberforge Gladius V1 on the top versus the Saberforge xiphos, the 2018 model on the bottom. And as you can see, they stack up pretty nicely together. This is the old Gladius I picked up secondhand a while ago. I did a review already on this lightsaber. You can check it out. It sports a Sabercore 2.0 Viridian soundboard. I do a comparison between the Sabercore 2.0 and the 3.0 as well, so please hang on for that video. But let's start and compare the initial two sabers next to each other. So as you can see, in terms of the design, the new xiphos 2018 here on the bottom is pretty close to its predecessor, the V1 Gladius. You can see a lot of elements are more or less similar. The Tsuba, of course it has some differences, so we're going to start with the Tsuba itself. As you can see, the Tsuba is not exactly the same. The one from the Gladius is a little bit less wide here on the bottom than the one from the xiphos. So you can see it's next to each other, that shows up pretty nicely. The xiphos 2018 has a slightly wider and flatter base of the Tsuba, versus the slightly less pronounced Tsuba on the Gladius V1. Both I really enjoy holding. And then the original Gladius only have two rings on the Tsuba that has been powder coated and then all silver parts. And this is how they look from the front. The Saberforge Gladius V1 is actually sporting a Sid Bunny blade plug. Really cool blade plugs by Sid Bunny, check them out. You can see it has a powder coated ring here, and this is also different from the 2015 Gladius version that's still on the Saberforge market. If you want to buy the current Saberforge Gladius, you only can pick up the one that has like these holes, like round holes here. I will do the review of that version as well. But for now I don't have that present. This is the Gladius 2018 or xiphos 2018. You can see it's a little bit less pronounced on the Tsuba area. In terms of the powder coating, it's less wide, less deep. So it definitely has a difference there. Because some people were thinking that Saberforge just repurposed the original Gladius and redubbed it into a apprentice line hilt, but it's really not the same hilt at all. It's really redesigned from ground up, totally different. And we go a little bit lower, so we have the Tsuba area, then we have the two rings. The two rings are not exactly identical either. The one from the original Gladius are slightly wider than from the 2018 xiphos version. Same for the recessed areas here, the choke points. They have a different design. The one of the original Gladius has just round bands all around, whereas the 2018 xiphos has these round bands as well, but also has like these blocks in between. I personally like both designs. They both have their pros. I think they're fantastic for choke, for the choke area. It feels comfortable, good gripping area. Then we go to the middle section. The middle section on the 2018 version is the same as the 2015 up to 2015 model. So this one was sold to the original Gladius was sold up to 2015, mid 2015, and then was replaced for the current Gladius on the Saberforge website. This is the xiphos, so it's a little bit confusing, I know, but the thickness is different. So the xiphos is based off a apprentice hilt thickness, whereas the Gladius is more based on the elite line thickness. So it's a little bit hard to show. Oh, I don't want to ding up my sabers, but you can see the thickness on the original Gladius. The body itself is slightly thicker and shorter than on the new xiphos, as you can see, ever so slightly different. And the control sections of course are different. The 2015 model has this recessed hole, and I really dig this. I really love the look of this. Like this, how this looks is really beautiful. I really dig that. The 2018 model, the xiphos, has a slightly different approach. They have a cutout here, rounded off for two holes. With the Gladius, you have two holes as well if you have a champion tier. One in front for the ignition button and one on the back for the recharge port. So in terms of the new design, I like this better because both buttons are next to each other. But this one also has something, because if you buy the old Gladius in a stunts configuration, you don't have that extra hole there, and then it's just flat, and that looks really beautiful in my opinion. And then we have the choke point. Now the Gladius and the xiphos on the right of you have different choke point, as you can see. They feel different. The one of the xiphos, the one on the Gladius on the left is definitely deeper, the edge here, but that has become because this upper part here, what I scrubbing with my thumb, is actually wider, so that's why it's more pronounced. But these are just flat round rings, and the xiphos 2018 has this like grenade section, which I really like. Then we go a little bit lower to go to the grip area, and you see the gripping area is actually enlarged on the new xiphos. The old Gladius, you see how short it is? That's definitely quite a bit shorter in terms of gripping area for the leather area. So you notice that when you have it in the hand, this is a tight fit. You barely can fit my entire hand on it. With this one, I have less issues to put my whole hand on it. So let's get the Covertech wheel out of the way. Definitely easier to get my hand on there. That is a bit different. Same for the pommel. The pommel on the original Gladius is slightly thicker and is a little bit longer, as you can see. Not by much though. The pommel is quite different. The one on the Gladius is much more narrow. Doesn't have the sound vent holes on the side like the newer Gladius has. And it sticks out a bit more than the new xiphos has. So as you can see, again, it comes down on personal preference. You also see the black lines on the pommel versus the black lines and the squares here, which are not present on the original Gladius. So it has a bit of a difference. In my personal opinion, so I'm gonna break it down from personal opinion, of course. Both lightsabers are fantastic. If you are unable to source, let's say, an original Gladius, or you're not so keen on trying to get a second-hand lightsaber, you can skip on this one on the original Gladius and just go with the new xiphos, which is in my opinion a really good new version of the original Gladius. I don't like the 2015 model that they still sell under the Elite line, which is slightly different. It looks much more close to this one, but I just don't like it because the Tsuba is a separate piece and there's some different pieces on that hilt. This one is all one hilt piece because it's a apprentice hilt line saber, and that is definitely noticeable, and that is more in line with the Gladius, which is also one piece hilt, and that's why so many people love the Gladius. So from that point of view, I absolutely love the new xiphos, but whenever I can have a chance to pick up an original Gladius, I will still do it because the handling is slightly different. It's a slightly thicker hilt. The Tsuba is a little bit less pronounced. It's a little bit more cleaner in terms of lines. There's less of the different cutouts and different elements, and like on the bottom it has the two cutouts on the xiphos 2018, where on the original Gladius it only has one. So it's a little bit aesthetically, it's a little bit cleaner hilt. There's a little bit less going on. It's that is something that appeals to me. It's a little bit more simplistic, but it does have its charm. But from terms of the gripping area and whatnot, I would say the new xiphos is better in terms of the Tsuba, more pronounced, so it's more comfortable. You have more gripping area here, plus you have a little bit longer gripping area on the leather grip, so that's also a benefit over the original Gladius, I would say. So this is a very good pickup. It's also a bit lighter than the original Gladius. I would say it's quite a bit lighter. I think it's around 50 grams lighter. So it's really come down on personal preferences. As you can see, they're very close contenders to each other, but they're definitely not the same hilt. This is not a retooled Gladius. This is a completely new built hilt from the ground up. And that is really interesting that Saberforge went that route, but at the same hand it's also very cool because they made it so good that it's still very close to original Gladius. and that is really cool. So hopefully you like this little comparison video. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer of the two, the old V1 Gladius, old school, or the newer xiphos, or you like them both, or let me know what you like about each of them and whatnot. If you have any further questions about me doing reviews for other parts of the hilts, such as like you want to more know, now it just comes up, like you want to know more information about, hey, why is the placement of the blade retention screw so much higher on the Tsuba versus the one on the tin neck of the xiphos 2018. I can delve into it, maybe make a part 2 if you want. Let me know if you have any further questions, and I will definitely answer those in a part 2. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you later. Bye bye.